Hey everyone, welcome back, and you know what? Let's get straight into it. Today's episode, we'll be talking about DNA. DNA is a song produced by a company known as Big Hit and sang by a K-pop group named BTS. It was published September 18th, 2017, and since then, DNA has gained over 544 million views and over 7 million likes. What? What do you mean this is the wrong subject? Hey guys, I was just told that we're not actually talking about DNA, we're talking about DNA.
6.5 hours later.
Describe the structure of a DNA molecule and label a diagram of the DNA molecule. When thinking of the word DNA, pictures like this probably come up in your mind. So, this is actually called a double helix. The double helix is actually the structure of DNA but twisted. If you were to untwist this double helix, you end up with something that looks like a ladder. A ladder that is made up of three things: sugar, phosphate, and bases. This is the sugar and that's the phosphate. These things in the middle are called bases, and there are four types of bases in the DNA: adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine, which can just be abbreviated with just their first letter, so C, G, A, and T. Explain how the DNA codes relate to the characteristics or traits of an organism. In other words, what does DNA do and why does it matter? Okay, so as you know, the bases of the DNA contains four letters. They each come in pairs such as CG, AT, GC, and TA. Now notice how A is only allowed to be with T and G is only allowed to be with C, and vice versa. Now that is very important, so to remember that, try putting it into an analogy, like abs, toes, I can't think of a body part that starts with G. Okay, try think of it as an analogy like Australia is the greatest country. No. Try using an analogy like abstain, then get children. That's too inappropriate. Try using an analogy like Australia is Top Gun compost. Yeah. There we go. Use that analogy, and you won't have any troubles remembering that A goes with T and G goes with C. Now, while only A is allowed to be with T and G is only allowed to be with C, the order of these pairs can come in any order. It's not limited to a specific order. In fact, the order of these pairs determine what the information is. We all know DNA is information, but we don't actually know exactly what that information is about. And that's why bases are important, because the order of these pairs can determine the information of an organism. Information such as characteristics or trait. Think of it like this. The letters C, A, T. The order of these letters tells you the information about what the word is. So when you read the order of these letters, you automatically think cat. Now let's change the order of these letters to A, C, T. Now see how the order of the letters instantly change the information of the word. You no longer think cat, and now you think of the word at. The order of pairs that these bases come in works in a very similar way. For example, the order CG, AT, TA, and GC. Loosely, there's much more than 4 pairs, but this is just an example. Let's just say that this order meant, I'm just going to say a random characteristic, long hair. But if you change the order of these pairs to AT, GC, CG, TA, now this order might mean no hair. Same pairs, but different order. Therefore, it's a different characteristic. Also, please note that some orders might mean something new or absolutely nothing. For example, going back to our cat analogy, if you rearrange the letters CAT to CTA, well, that doesn't mean anything. It's not a word. You don't get any information from this. So, again, it works similar to how the pairs work, not every order of the pairs means a characteristic. Explain the process of protein synthesis and explain the importance of proteins in the human body. Okay, so now I will be skipping this section of the video. Why? Because there's two reasons why. And no, it is not because I'm too lazy. Don't you dare say I'm too lazy, because I'll have you know I have good reason. Okay, so the first reason is I myself don't completely understand this part. Like, I vaguely do, but I can barely. It's hard to explain. It's very hard to explain. And second reason is I just don't have time. My teacher said at latest I have to submit this by Wednesday, which is actually very kind of him since this was due last Friday. And I just can't finish this much work in that little amount of time. I'll explain more later on, but I'll explain more later on in the end of the video. But like, if you really do want to learn what protein synthesis is, I highly suggest you check out the Amoeba Sister video. I'll leave a link in the description. They provide a very simplistic explanation. So yeah, you can go check that out. Explain how the terms genome, DNA, chromosomes, gene, and allele relate to each other. So as I explained before, DNA is made out of three things: base, sugar, and phosphate. And together they combine to make what is called a nucleotide. And a nucleotide is pretty much the building block of DNA. And a chain of nucleotides is called a gene. DNA is information. A gene is pretty much a sequence of DNA that makes up the characteristics and traits. Alleles are different versions and forms of the gene. So genes and alleles, it's like a deck of cards. Genes being the deck, and alleles being the type of cards. Genome is pretty much a complete set of genes. Chromosomes. To put it simple, chromosomes are spur-coiled DNA. So for those who don't know, the length of DNA is very long. It's pretty much 2 meters long. So in order for all that DNA to fit inside the cell, the DNA gets coiled up and twisted. So like I said, it gets twisted. DNA first gets twisted into a double helix, but then it gets twisted even further and further until it becomes a chromosome. And that's it. Yep, that's it for this episode and actually the entire series. Yeah, so I know I hyped it up in the first episode saying I'm gonna make 4 episodes, 7 episodes on this. But like I said, I just don't have time. This assessment, which as you know is overdue already, I have to get it in by Wednesday, which is tomorrow for me, and there's no way I'm going to finish 2 videos in one day. So I do want to say sorry for the lack of quality in this video, DNA video. I as you can see, I rushed it like no tomorrow. I've been like really stressed out recently because I've got exams soon. I've got a lot of homework and stuff, and you know what? This is all completely my fault. Okay, this is I was given 5 weeks to finish this, and during those 5 weeks, I did practically nothing. So yeah, this is definitely my fault. The fact that I haven't failed this, I'm only gonna get a few marks taken off this, which is actually I'm kind of being let off easy considering the lack of work that I've done with this. So for the last 2, I'm gonna quickly make something that will take less time than making a video. Making videos way too long, and yeah, I just wanted to let you know. So sorry about that. If you are watching, thank you for watching. I won't be making any more episodes. This is probably the last episode. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I gotta really finish this work now. So yeah, bye.